Trilingualism and Speaking Competence of Senior High School IP Learners at Mansalay Catholic High School. We conducted this research to demonstrate you the link between trilingualism and IP learners' speaking ability, as well as how they communicate and interact with one another at Mansalay Catholic High School. It is more difficult than it appears to be trilingual. You have to deal with different challenges and discriminations. And this research can assist both the teacher and the students in resolving these issues. It is critical to understand your students' skills and shortcomings because their ability to communicate is also a factor in their success. Even those of us who are not an IPs are not able to speak English effectively and accurately. Consider how difficult it was for all of us to learn to communicate in English at first, then compare it to the difficulty faced by the IP students who are also struggling to communicate in Tagalog fluently first. It is a plus if you are a trilingual individual who can converse in a variety of languages. As the research progresses, you will be able to see why trilingualism has such a significant impact on the ability of the students to communicate effectively. You will also realize why IP students' performance should be given a lot of importance.
Statement of the problem. The aim of a study is to determine the relationship of trilingualism and speaking skills competence of senior high school IP learners in Mansalay Catholic High School. This is to seek answers to the following question. First, what is the level of trilingualism of senior high school IP learners in Mansalay Catholic High School in terms of A. Years of learning in languages in second language and third language. B. Trilingual vocabulary. Second, what is the level of speaking competence of senior high school IP learners in Mansalay Catholic High School in terms of A. Pronunciation, B. Grammar, and C. Fluency. Third, is there a significant relationship between trilingualism of senior high school IP learners and their speaking competence? Fourth, what is the significance difference among grammar, pronunciation, and fluency? And fifth, based on the findings, what project may be proposed? Statement of the hypothesis. In the light of the given problem, the hypothesis to be tested is there is no significant relationship between trilingualism and speaking competence of the respondents.
So here's the conceptual paradigm of the study. It consists 3 boxes and 2 single-headed arrows. The first box refers to the input of the study, which is the trilingualism of the IP learners in terms of first, years of learning language in second language and third language. And letter B, trilingual vocabulary. Next is level of speaking competency of senior high school IP learners in terms of their pronunciation, grammar, and fluency. The second box indicates the process used in gathering the data. The researchers use a survey questionnaire and will conduct an interview. Lastly, the third box is the proposed intervention program, which refers to the seminar. This seminar aims to enhance the speaking competence of the IP learners.
Now for the theoretical framework, first we have the Adam and Feng's model for trilingual education in the People's Republic of China. Since 2002, the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, has enacted a number of education initiatives aimed at encouraging ethnic minority groups to speak 3 languages. If properly implemented, trilingualism can allow excluded groups to fully participate in the mainstream society's social and political life, as well as profit from educational and economic opportunities. The phrases trilingualism and trilingual education are used in this chapter to refer to the development of proficiency in 3 languages: the minority's home language, Chinese, and English, which is the problem that many ethnic minority groups in the PRC are currently facing. For the next theory, which is Sky's model, the teaching speaking, activities to promote speaking in a second language. Speaking is an important aspect of learning and teaching a second language. Despite its relevance, English language teachers have continued to teach speaking as a repetition of drills or memorization of dialogues for many years despite its importance. In today's society, however, the purpose of teaching and speaking should be increased to students' conversation abilities, as this is the only method for them to express themselves and learn how to follow the right social and cultural rules in each situation.
So here are the synthesis of review of related literature and study. According to Ferreira C. 2006 and Espinosa T. 2001 and 3, most researchers agree that the most common scientific view of trilingualism today refers to multilingual speakers have gradually acquired the ability to communicate in each of their languages, ranging from basic understanding or communicating abilities to the model of a solid multilingual person. In this perspective, functional multilingualism is defined by efficient communication in each of the multilingual speakers' languages, regardless of the patterns monolinguals utilize based on their age-determined skills.
The research design. The researchers use descriptive correlational research design to determine the effects of trilingualism to the speaking competence of senior high school's IP learners in Mansalay Catholic High School. Descriptive correlational studies describes that the variables and the relationships that occurs naturally between and among them. Survey will be utilized to collect data and information to relate trilingualism and speaking competence.
Research Local. Mansalay Catholic High School was founded by Father Anton Postma SVD in 1965. The SVD missionaries applied for its full recognition by the government and was granted and permitted to operate in the year 1965 with total enrollees of 26 students. It has a total land area of 5,070 square meters and was gradually constructed and improved by the directors assigned since 1965 up to now. So here are the table of the respondents. The above respondents are 17 to 20 years old. The section of senior high school in Mansalay Catholic High School is comprised of 6 sections, which are grade 11 STEM, grade 11 ABM, grade 11 UMS, grade 12 STEM, grade 12 ABM, and grade 12 UMS. Respondents of the study. The target participant of the study will be coming from grade 11 and grade 12 IP learners of Mansalay Catholic High School and is comprised of 19 IP learners enrolled this school year 2021-2022. Specifically, from 19 grade 11 and grade 12 IP learners using the Rouse software, 19 sample respondents were chosen as presented on the table below with the following assumption: 5% margin of error, 95% level of confidence, and 50% of response distribution.
The research instrument. The researchers use a self-structured survey questionnaire that contains 30 questions which equally divided based on their indicators. Also, a 5-item self-made interview questionnaire is added which will be used in conducting an interview. The validity of the instrument. To validate the research instrument, the researchers solicit comments and suggestions from the research advisors, validators, and other teachers. Reliability of the instrument. Test retest is used to measure of reliability obtained by administering the same test twice over a period of time to a group of individuals. The researchers will provide another set of IP learners which will be given the same survey questionnaire. The table presented here is the scaling and quantification table. The researchers use 1 to 5 numerical scale with the lowest statistical unit is 5 and the highest would be 25. The highest level transcribed as the excellent. Next is very good, good, average, and poor.
Sampling technique. This study will use purposive sampling method, also known as judgmental, selective, or subjective sampling, a form of non-probability sampling in which researchers rely on their own judgment when choosing members of the population to participate in their study. Since the study is intended to access a particular subset of people, as all participants of a study are selected because they fit a particular profile, and to determine the effect of trilingualism speaking skill competency of IP learners, the researchers decided to conduct the study in all tribes of IP students in Mansalay Catholic High School. The researchers set the following criteria to filter the respondents. The criteria are the following: A. Can speak 3 languages including their native language. B. Had taken the oral communication subject. And C. Member of any indigenous group.
Data gathering procedure. The survey questionnaire was created by the researchers to assess IP learners' trilingualism and speaking competence. In gathering the data needed, the researchers constructed a letter of permission which is addressed to the following persons: to the guidance counselor, to the school administration, and to the Mangyang Foundation representative, or the participants or the respondents, to allow us to conduct a survey within the school vicinity. The letters were sent through the email after they were double-checked and signed by the researchers and the research advisors. The researchers had obtained the necessary information after receiving the letters. Statistical treatment of data. The researchers used Kendall's tau to look at how two variables are related. They are interested in investigating the relationship between trilingualism and speaking competence of senior high school IP learners. Kendall's tau is a method of presenting a correlation to rank, order, or level of the data. The Kendall's tau rank order coefficients evaluates the relationship between two distinct techniques of assessing the variables in terms of rank or ordering. It assesses statistical association based on the ranks of the data. Here is the formula on how to get the data using Kendall's tau. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening, and for now, at this moment, we are ready for your questions, suggestions, comments, and further clarifications.